motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, we have some new staff members from North Clinton.
Welcome, guys. We are so glad that you're here. Miss Rael, would you like to come up? Do you want to introduce them first and then do your report, or do you want to do your report and then introduce them?
Let me introduce them first.
Okay.
They want to get out and go see the ball game.
I'm sure they do. It's an exciting night.
It is.
Meet the Blaze. Oh, leave.
We have a couple of new assistants as well. Riley DeJarnette and Kayla Process, who are not here with us tonight, but we do have our 4 new, literal half the teaching staff is brand new this year. But we could not ask for anything better. So, let's see, there's Miss Brittany Malcolm, if you'll come on up. She is a 2019 ETSU grad from Bristol, Tennessee, and she's had some other teaching interim positions, but she was 3rd grade at Inskip last year and in Knox County. She is absolutely great at building relationships with her students, and she is our 5th grade teacher this year. And then Peyton Tippett. And Peyton Tippett is our 4th grade teacher this year, and she graduated in 2023 from UT with her master's in elementary education, and she interned with some Anderson County schools. And this woman has academic classrooms happening in her 4th grade classroom all day long. If it's math, if it's reading, they are constantly talking. You would think you were walking into a college level classroom because they are having academic conversations at every possible opportunity. And then we have Emma Denton, and she is in 2nd grade. She is the 2nd grade teacher.
The 2nd grade.
She is from Farragut, but she does have a family history here in the city of Clinton. She just graduated from Carson Newman University in 2023, and she wanted to work with students in an environment similar to North Clinton, and she started her year with some lovely, warm, welcoming songs where they were learning each other's names and talking about how happy they were to see them.
I sang that song for like a month. I could not get it out of my head. It was so fabulous.
So incredibly precious. And then Bailey Reagan is our kindergarten teacher. She is partnering with Melanie Gettelfinger this year, and she graduated in 2023 from UT with her master's in child and family studies. She's from the Powell area. She has one of the calmest kindergarten classrooms for a first-year teacher. Well, or frankly, any kindergarten teacher that I've ever seen. And if you're really, really lucky, you can catch her class out in the building doing a math walk and identifying and counting different things in the building. It's very, very sweet. So this is our brand new teaching staff at North Clinton Elementary.
Welcome, guys. So I will, just to draw the Clinton connection with Emma Denton, that is Clark Denton's daughter. So Clark Denton graduated he would have been 88 from Lindsay and Lynn Denton. So I tell her that her mother taught me piano for 11 years. And grandmother, I always say your mother, and she's going to just come get me one day. But her grandmother taught me piano for 11 years, and I can still hear her getting mad at me for clicking because my nails would be too long. And then, Bailey, why don't you tell them where you went to elementary school?
So I went to Powell Elementary School, and Kelly was my principal.
So I'm so old. I am so old. So she was.
Second, and third.
She was just a little baby, and now she is like a true kindergarten teacher. So we actually stalked her on Facebook, and we were friends on Facebook, and I would see her posts and how precious she was about the love of education and the love of kids. And so I was like, I think she would be a great fit, and she has just come in and done great. And Peyton and Brittany, we just have been very, very blessed with wonderful new hires at North Clinton. You walk through that building, and it is academics, it is calm, and it is high expectations, and it is just everything. Merle, your heart would just be so happy. But welcome to Clinton City Schools. So this is the actual school board, and so their purpose is they're elected officials, and they help us with policies and procedures they're kind of the backbone of the success of Clinton City Schools. If you've worked with any other school district, what is unique about this board here is that they all fight hard for all 3 schools. There is no preference shown for any of the schools. They just fight hard. All of the decisions that they make, there is no personal interest at heart. It is truly what is best for teachers and what is best for kids. And you will hear many of them as we are making motions and making decisions with regards to the school, their question is, what do the teachers think about this? How is this going to impact kids? So you truly have 6 people here that truly support, so I'll let you know who they are. This is Curtis Isabel on the end, and he's a local attorney in Clinton, and then he also has had 2 children that have come through Clinton City Schools. ETSU graduate, there you go, a little alumni love there. And then we have Joey Smith, and Joey Smith is a realtor in Clinton, and he also has 2 children that attend Clinton City Schools as we speak. Then we have Merle Price, and Merle Price, most of her career was in Clinton City Schools. She actually was the principal at North Clinton Elementary. And so she truly understands what you all go through every day. And if you ever get a chance to sit and eat lunch with her and let her tell you some previous principal and teacher stories, it will make your day. But you will never, ever surprise her with anything you say. She can beat it, I promise, with what she's seen and what she's done.
I also have 2 daughters that went through Clinton City Schools.
So, and then this is Dr. Tim Bible. He is a dentist in the area, and he has been our board chair for several years, and his wife actually is a teacher at Clinton Elementary, Vicki Bible. You may know her. But he is a strong, strong supporter of Clinton City Schools, and his children came through Clinton City Schools. And then we have Lori Wilson, and she is a mortgage officer. What's the official? Yes. But both of her kids went through Clinton City Schools, and her son is actually a Clinton celebrity. If you ever hear of Jack the Hammer,
He's at the Meet the Blaze right now.
he's at Meet the Blaze. But anyway, she is, if you have not followed Clinton Strong on Facebook, you need to follow Clinton Strong. She is kind of the face, and Joey is the face behind Clinton Strong. But they do a great job of putting out positive publicity of not only Clinton City Schools, but Clinton Middle and Clinton High School as well. So we appreciate that. And then we have KK Webster, and KK Webster. KK Meredith, she has gotten married. It's terrible. 2 years ago, but I just, Please don't tell Rick I did that. KK Meredith, but she has had several children come through Clinton City Schools. Now she has some grandchildren that are coming through Clinton City Schools. But honestly, all 6 of these people are such fans of what we do, and you all are just filled with such support. So these are just great people. So what we'll do right now is we're going to come around, and they're going to welcome you to Clinton City Schools, and then we're going to do a little North Clinton photo, and then we're going to let you either go to the Clinton Blaze game or go home and put your PJs on and crash, because you've got one more day to make it until fall break. So we'll come around. So come on up, guys.
We look so different.
We'll just gather. We're guys. Shut up, you all go first. No, stay. Y'all stay. We cannot see Merle or KK now. Okay, Merle and KK, y'all gotta come to the front. Sorry. And like, come on, KK.
I could peek right through here.
And bring the dress just a little bit so we're more centered. All right, here we go. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're so cute. Team.
Bye, nice to meet you. Nice to see you all.
You are welcome to stay for Scott Ray's financial report if you would like to. He says that it's riveting. Janie Jackson and Melanie Gettelfinger, thank you all for supporting. And Bailey, introduce your guest.
This is my mom.
I thought it might be your mom. We are so glad that you came, and we're tickled she's here. You all have a great night.
Thank you all. Janie.
So supportive.
It's like I'm gone.
All right. Moving on to our consent. Oh, no. We've got a report coming.
Yes, it's
We're-
very brief. It's very, very brief. So I do have a data report, and I did absolutely gladly steal, when offered to steal the format that Clinton Elementary had provided. I said, yes, I would love to steal this. Just great, concise bits of information. So our proficiency on our TCAP for 2023 in ELA was 35.5% proficient in ELA in all grades, 47.6% in third grade, 35.7% in fourth grade, 38% in fifth grade, and then 9.1 in sixth grade, which we had about, through the course of the year, anywhere from 9 to 11 students in that class. And that was probably one of the heaviest hitters of our chronic attendance was the sixth grade class that year. I think we had about 5 or 6 that were on the chronic absenteeism out of the 9 to 11 kids that we had all year. So that took a major hit for those students.
And we actually spent a great deal of time talking about the sixth grade situation there last year.
Yes. And in our proficiency on TCAP in math, we had 27.9% proficient in math for all grades, 47.6% in the third grade math, 23.1% in fourth grade math, and 25% in the fifth grade math. 0% proficiency in the sixth grade math. And that is definitely something that, especially as we talked about sixth grade and taking into account whether to have a sixth grade or not, I think that's going to serve North Clinton data fairly well. Our growth on TVOS for TCAP, we were a level 3 school, which we were not sure how that was going to play out, and we are absolutely thrilled to be a level 3 school. We were level 3 in all areas: literacy, numeracy, combined literacy and numeracy, and science. The only area we were not a level 3 on was social studies, and only sixth grade students take the social studies test. So that's pretty telling as well. We took a major hit percentage-wise in the post-COVID years with chronic absenteeism. I think the first couple of years I was at North, it was in the teens percentage rate, and we just struggled getting everybody to come back and follow the CDC procedures of non-quarantining and things like that. So we had 35.9% chronic absenteeism rate last school year. It was a reduction, 2.7% from the previous year. So we're still working on that, and Ms. Jordan, our attendance supervisor, has been a great help, as well as Officer Myville, in working to reduce and our social worker, Hillary Keith, in working to reduce the chronic absenteeism rate. Our Encore proficiency percentage, and that's our intervention intervention program. It's not the intervention program, but it's essentially trying to get students kind of over that hump from almost approaching that meeting the proficiency mark and to making sure they get over into the proficiency range. So they work on that all year. So 20 out of our 36 students that were in All-Core met or exceeded expectations, which was a percentage of 56%, which we expected it to be around that 50% mark. In iReady, spring diagnostic is handled a little bit differently. We do make sure that the students take their time. It's not quite the same as TCAP in that it's a time setting. We do give them the time they need to really see what it is they know, and it does give them questions that are on their ability level and on to see how far they've grown and from where they started in August until where they landed in May. A year's worth of growth would be 100% growth. But in reading, we had 217% growth. So we had over 2 years' worth of growth from our reading from August to May, which we had 72% that hit the grade level in the iReady programming. It is highly correlative with the state testing, so it just makes you wonder what our students would really be able to do if they were allowed to take their time on state testing, but we know that that's not an option. Our math, we had 68% that were on or above grade level for iReady. We also had 181% growth from August until May in iReady. So given the opportunity to take the time they need to think through the problems, it really is nice to be able to see their actual growth in that way. We had some areas to celebrate for our testing. We had our North Clinton overall was a level 3, where we had some hope for that, and we didn't achieve that. We had 100% of our teachers were on a level 3 teacher or above on the TVOS data. And then also with TVOS, ELA students in all subgroups had a level 3 growth, which was really nice to see that we are really growing those students in their reading proficiency, knowing that reading is so tied to math, science, social studies, and all areas in which they're going to be continuing to learn. Our ELA subgroup success, 66.7% proficiency in our economically disadvantaged in 4th grade, 55.6% proficient in our 3rd grade males. And in the math subgroup successes, we had 66.7% 3rd grade males and 56.3% proficient in 3rd grade economically disadvantaged. So you can see our 3rd grade is really kicking it into overdrive, and they kind of have to, unfortunately, with the 3rd grade retention law. This is very important that we get these kids where they're supposed to be proficiency-wise. Our areas to strengthen our goals that are on our school improvement plan. Our first goal is North Clinton will reduce chronic absenteeism rates by at least 5% by May of 2024. We're already having parent meetings, getting those families in for the chronic absenteeism, so that's been a good start to the year. Our second goal is that we're going to increase grades 3 through 5 ELA TCAP proficiency scores by 2% from 35.7 to 37.7%. And in spring, increase our proficiency percentages in math on T and Ready by 2% in grades 3 through 5 from 28.6 to 30.6. A couple of other quick little tidbits. I want to make sure I say thank you to a few folks. I want to make sure and say thank you to Boys and Girls Club and the organization called Samaritan's Feet. They came and in September, they measured every child in the building, their foot, and every child in the building got a brand new pair of shoes on September 20th. It was absolutely precious. We had volunteers from the Titanic Museum dressed in costume, and some of the kids were absolutely thrilled but a little confused, and really enjoyed the experience of having these people that came in and sat with them and talked to them while they got their new shoes. On the 15th of September, I want to make sure we say thank you again to Rotary for the $30,000 donation for the ET STEMI playground. That was absolutely wonderful, and we cannot thank them enough for that. The meaning behind it is just fantastic. Our fall cookout was yesterday. Thank you to Clinton Fire Department for cooking some wonderful hot dogs and hamburgers. We'll have some dental screenings on the 18th, and on the 19th, we're going to combo some parent conferences and some student flu shot options. So while they are there for parent conferences, if their students come with them and they have filled out the paperwork prior, their students can get a flu shot if they decide to do so. On the 20th, we're going to be super busy on the 20th. We have our Arbor Day tree planting. The school staff has decided that they are going to do something in a way to have that tree be in honor of Alex Kelly, our former student that spent kindergarten in the first couple of months with us at North Clinton. We will also have that afternoon Career on Wheels. And then on the 24th, we're going to do our Camp Cougar Fall Festival with some storytelling and snacks and games and things like that. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So a couple of quick follow-ups with her. We did have one parent that told me that their child had to sleep with their pair of shoes that night. They were so excited to get their pair of shoes that the shoes made it to the bed. So that was a great event. But Scott Ray brought up a good point last when Clinton Elementary gave their report of why there would be a discrepancy between the top with TCAP and iReady. A couple of reasons for that. Number one is TCAP is just 3 through 6. iReady is K through 6. So you're adding the primary grades. But then also, when you look at TVOS is from spring to spring of next year. iReady growth is fall to spring. So when they come back, you're measuring iReady as measuring their summer learning loss. And then there again, you're adding in K through 2, actually K through 3, because value added doesn't happen in 3. And so you're adding, several grade levels back into that. So that's why the discrepancy. But what I'm so proud of is if you look at the middle of the growth for a school such as North Clinton, we have to hang our hat on growth. And you need that growth to be above 100 because then you're actually closing the achievement gap over time. And that's what we are continually doing at North Clinton. You see a lot of the fluctuations more with North Clinton because number one, it's a smaller school. Number two, it is our most transient school. So we get in kindergarten, first and second grade, we get them good foundational skills, but several of those kids are not with us for us to reap the benefits from once they get to fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. So just a little bit of dynamics there, but just wanted to kind of clarify those things. But thank you, Miss Monica. Great things are happening at North Clinton Elementary.
All right, thank you, Monica. Moving on to our consent agenda, I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our financial report with Mr. Ray.
Everybody should have the August financial report in your board packets. On the revenue side for the general purpose school fund, remember property taxes aren't really rolling in yet, but when they do, we have a 4-month period where that hits strong. No reason to anticipate we won't collect what we have budgeted. And the sales tax is showing 0 current collections. This financial statement is prepared on a cash flow basis, and we accrued July, August, and September's sales tax that we received into last year. So those will start rolling in and when you see October's financial statement, but we'll get all 12 months. TISA is now replaced BEP as a new line item, and that, again, like BEP, we'll collect that over 10 months rather than 12. So I will point you to the, on the first page, maintenance of plant, 72,620. If you see on the second column, it's 108,000 year-to-date. But on the next to the last column, it says month-to-date, 148,000. Well, that's impossible. The reason for that is accounts payable. Some of the accounts payable were paid off in July, and some of the accounts payable were paid off in August. When I reverse that, I reverse it July 1st. I don't wait and reverse some in on July and some in August. There's a couple of those that look a little off, and I know Joey would be looking at that later tonight and pointing that out to me. But if anybody ever did point that out to you, there's a reason for it. It's appropriate. Yet. And there's one on the federal projects, 72,210. It says year-to-date is 27,000, but in the month of August, we spent 42. And again, we paid off some accounts payable in August, but I reversed that in July. I reversed it before we actually paid for it. That's the reason. Cafeteria has it as well. But overall, as expenditures are occurring as expected and budgeted, nothing exceptional to report. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Ray regarding our August financial report? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve financial report as presented. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Kim, could we have a roll call vote, please?
KK Meredith. Yes. Lori Wilson.
Yes.
Tim Buckle.
Yes.
Merle Price.
Yes.
Joey Smith.
Yes.
Curtis Isabel.
Yes.
Motion carries. And moving on to budget amendment number 2.
Yeah, budget amendment number 2 only affects federal projects funds. Title I is a reduction in allocation, and Title II is another reduction in allocation. The total is about $9,000 reduction. All that is we estimated, based on last year, we get a certain allocation, and that didn't come to fruition. And so we adjusted the allocation to actual. There's nothing we could do or not do about that. When rollovers get finalized, we'll have another budget amendment before you to budget those rollover monies. So nothing too exciting in the budget amendment category this month. Sorry.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Ray regarding budget amendment 2? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve budget amendment 2 as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comments? Hearing none. Kim, could we have a roll call vote, please?
KK Meredith.
Yes.
Lori Wilson.
Yes.
Tim Buckle.
Yes.
Merle Price.
Yes.
Joey Smith.
Yes.
Curtis Isabel.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Ray. We'll move on to new business. First item up is our 2024-25 school calendar.
Okay, so we've got the proposed school calendar for school year 24-25. Basically, it's following the same formula that we have followed for the past several years. It is as closely aligned with Anderson County Schools as we could get it. We are continuing to do the day after fall break instead of the day before fall break for a in-service day. Other than that, it's relatively the same as what we have done. We'll be finishing up school before Memorial Day, still having our in-service or what we call collaborative days approximately once a month. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that we will be going to school on a half day on Friday, and Anderson County will not start until that Monday, the 5th. But Anderson County also staggers their children in over the course of several days. We like to do that half day so that we can see our students, and then we can fully start on a Monday if we at all can, and get a full 5-day week of instruction in there in August. And so that is what we are presenting for approval.
All right. We have a calendar presented, 2024-2025. I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to my favorite parts of the night. It will be to approve an RFP to be issued for our auditorium seats at Clinton Elementary School.
So this has been a long time coming, and Scott Ray is super excited about this project. He cannot wait, and Abby Kidwell's doing some dances back there. This has been a long time coming. So we're going to go ahead and take the dive in. Actually, B and C, I'll kind of just combine those together, but it will need to be 2 separate motions. But we would like to move forward with an RFP to be issued for the removal of the auditorium seats and then a replacement of new auditorium seats. But while we are doing that, we need to do some ceiling remodeling in the auditorium. And we need to do that remodeling while the seats are out, because that's going to save us some money. So basically, the whole project will be seats coming out, ceiling work happens, then new seats come back in. And so it will be 2 official motions from you all, and timeline on that will just be to be determined based on supply chain and how fast we can get that to happen. So I see lots of smiles by the school board knowing that this needed to happen for a long time, and I actually see a smile from Mr. Ray that this is finally happening. So we may actually sell some seats for nostalgia reasons and just to have a piece of history.
Still
Um,
I think we ought to adopt new seats too.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of people would adopt a seat.
Or at least adopt a row.
We could do that.
I doubt it.
I don't
The-
think you need fabric in a school.
The problem with fabric, that would get cut by kids, so it's probably will still be some sort of harder chair, but just for durability purposes and dust and bodily fluid purposes, but so that we can actually clean them. But we will explore what options are available.
Has anybody looked at the price of chairs?
We have, actually, when we went to TSBA, when we go there this time, there will be some vendors there that do them. And we did get an estimate, and we're looking at probably close to $300,000 for the seats. And that's just a general estimate. It may actually be higher than that when you look at the installation and how prices have increased since Scott and I last priced them. So we'll
Do you
just.
know how many will what the seating capacity will be? Would it change? Are the new seats going to be bigger? Would it?
We have a few options. Basically, this is an old conversation. I think it's been over a year. But generally speaking, we would not lose capacity.
And I think the last time we counted, there's close to 500 chairs, if I'm not mistaken. I think, close to that. So,
I think we might lose a little bit to some handicap seating requirements, but those are ones and twos.
so what we will do, the process will just be, we're asking permission to formally RFP it, and then before we approved any vendor, we would bring back to you what won the bid and get you all to approve the vendor and the price before we move forward.
Money well spent.
This would be an opportunity to paint it to like the walls. Are we going to think about that or not? Because I think that would be the one time in history it would be time to paint the walls.
I agree. I mean, if you're gonna do it,
I guess we'll do the whole thing.
you'd have to remember that, you've got a demo, ceiling, paint, reinstall, and that probably won't happen in the summer.
Yeah.
So you're gonna lose access to the auditorium during the school year at some point in time, maybe before and after, maybe before school ends and then finishing up as school begins. But the more we add, the bigger that gets, so.
I agree that it should be painted because the demolition is gonna create just nastiness.
Mhm.
So-
And the wall, I don't know what color the walls are. They're sort of
They're white.
they're white?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
They were white.
When I went to school.
I think if we close down the auditorium for a period of time, knowing for improvements, I mean, Abby, you're doing school assemblies in the gym at this point, aren't you?
I don't think it's been
Just because
used.
it's so, we just,
Yeah, we don't fit, I mean, just
Yeah.
safely and that sort of thing. So,
so.
So, yeah, we can
If
we can
it's
do it
closed for a
during-
while, we can
during
live with it.
school. All right. All right, any further questions or comments? All right, we'll do these one at a time. Approve an RFP to be issued for auditorium seats at Clinton Elementary School. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Do we have a
Second.
second? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, I'll entertain a motion to approve RFP to be issued for a ceiling remodel at Clinton Elementary School in the auditorium.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. And the last one is altering our bids and quotations amounts.
Yes, so Scott and I met and are requesting for this policy to be revised. The original policy said that any purchase that we made above $5,000 had to have 3 quotes. We're asking for that to be changed to $10,000. The RFP threshold will remain at $25,000. But what we're running into is when you're looking at something $7,000 or $8,000, they won't give you a quote unless you listen to a sales pitch, and then by the time you've spent the time trying to get those 3 quotes, really our return on investment is minimal. So we are requesting that we raise that threshold from $5,000 for quotes to $10,000.
All right. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve school board policy as presented on first and second reading.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, our next school board meeting will be here November the 9th. TSBA is coming up in Nashville next month as well, and we'll move on to our director's report.
So coming is just a few announcements. First, you have a folder, which we really regret that Danny Goins is not with us tonight, because he would thoroughly enjoy all the colored copies and the colored graphs that are in here for you. But this is our annual report that I give you one time a year at some point, but this is recapturing all of the work that was done in Clinton City Schools during the school year of 2022-23. So this is last school year. And basically, the process for doing this is it's just a chance for all supervisor and department heads to kind of summarize for you the work that has happened in each of the different areas throughout the school. So you're going to see some district data, you're going to see some updates from technology, from coordinated school health, from facilities to school securities, but it's just kind of a snapshot of everything that occurred during last school year and possibly over the summer before we began this school year. So I won't take time to highlight all of that, but I know that will be great bedtime reading for you all by the bedside. And if you have any questions, please reach out and let us know, and we'll be happy to provide some clarification. But I think after you read through the annual report, you will see that our people have worked very, very hard, and lots of great things happened across the district that we can be proud of last school year. Our CCS enrollment as of today is back where it was about last year. We were at 930 students in K through 6, and that's where we get our TISA funding from. And then pre-K through 6, that takes us to 968. So basically what we're looking at with the TISA to stay in that small school threshold, it's just K through 6. So we have room to grow with 70 kids before we would be over that 1,000 threshold. So attendance or enrollment is looking good. For those of you who may not be aware, Meet the Blaze is tonight. Actually, the girls are playing as we speak. Boys will play at 6:30. We're showcasing basketball, cheerleading, and dancing tonight. Winter Guard will be performing in subsequent games. They're still just getting started with their routine, but it will be more than fabulous. And then this year, we actually have, as you recall, several years ago, Joey created an actual Blaze mascot costume for us and donated that to Clinton City Schools, and we actually have a Blaze mascot this year. And so he is super excited. Joey has actually met with him and trained him on appropriate protocol for being a school mascot, and he could not almost stand himself walking into school today.
He is beyond proud of himself and so excited to do it. The other day he got out of the car, Miss Kibble, it's Blaze mascot. Workers today. Fantastic. So but he is just, he's thrilled.
He also has become very fond of Joey and wants Joey to come back multiple times because he has questions for him.
He really needed very little training. He basically was born to do this.
Yes, ma'am.
He is a sixth
So he's a
grader.
future Dragon mascot, is what you're trying to
His
tell me.
brother, I believe, is the Hawk at the middle school.
Oh, that's
So he's a
So it's
legacy
in the
mascot.
family.
a legacy.
It's going to be, it's fabulous. So just a reminder on our school calendar coming up, we have for years and years have had an in-service day the day before fall break, but we are having school tomorrow. And then we'll do fall break next week with the in-service day on Monday, October the 16th. Just wanted to do a public announcement that the funeral services for Alex Kelly, our North Clinton and Clinton Elementary School student who tragically passed away over the weekend, will be Friday at Holly Gamble. The receiving of friends will be from 5 to 7 with the service at 7 o'clock. They are still collecting money for funeral services. They're doing a GoFundMe, or you can drop off money at Holly Gamble. That's personally what we have chosen to do, just so that GoFundMe doesn't keep a portion of the funds. Everything would go straight to her. And then just an update on letter grades. At some point in November, we're going to expect for the full report card to be released that will include a letter grade for each school. The Department of Education is supposedly presenting their initial formula to the state board in a work session tomorrow. So once I get what that formula is proposed to be, I will let you all know. They actually, Jenna Sharp got an email from the department, and they have asked her to serve on an input committee. And so I think they're meeting 4 or 5 times during the month of October to receive input from principals and other school leaders. And so I know that Jenna Sharp will serve our system well on that committee and try to at least give a realistic voice for her input. But I think it's super neat that they have asked someone from Clinton City Schools to serve on that committee. So I'm eager to hear from her about how that process plays out and what kind of opportunity she was given to provide input. But that concludes my report for now. Any questions for me?
All right. Any other questions, comments, anything? All right. Hearing none, I'll declare this meeting adjourned.